Let's revise chapter number 5, time of supply under GST. So what is the relevance of this chapter? As we know that liability to pay the GST on time of supply means 20th of the next month. For example, if you make supply in July month, then you have to pay GST to the government on 20th of the August next month. If you made supply in August month, then you have to pay tax to the government in September month, 20 September. Okay. So that's why there is relevance of time of supply. If it's TOS in August month, then its payment will be made in September month. Okay. If it's delayed in 1 month, then government revenue will be delayed by 1 month. Delayed by 1 month. Okay. So an overview for goods, services, and some common point for goods and services. In case of goods under HCM and RCM, in case of services under RCM, HCM, and associate, and common points like voucher, in case of interest, late fees, penalty, and the residual cases. Okay, see here. So let's start with the time of supply for the goods. Section number 12. In case of forward charge mechanism, here we need to see the date of issue of invoice, the date of issue of invoice or the last date to issue invoice as per section number 31. Okay. In the case of goods, the time of supply is not on the receipt of advance. So advance is irrelevant here. Okay. Advance is irrelevant in case of supply of goods. We have to check the date of issue invoice, actual date or last date as per section number 31, whichever is earlier, will be time of supply in case of goods. Is it clear? In case of RCM, so under RCM, liability to pay the GST to the government is on the recipient. So here we have to check 3 things. When goods are received, the date of receipt of goods. Second is date of payment made by the recipient under RCM. Or third one is 31st day from supplier invoice, whichever is earlier will be time of supply in case of RCM, right? So if these 3 is not available, then we have to take date of entry in the books of account. Understood? Okay. So let's see the last date to issue the invoice for the goods as per section number 31. So number 1 is if movement of goods involved. If movement of goods involved, then removal of goods. If supplier sending you goods through any truck, etc., then the date on which goods removed for delivery, that will be last date to issue the invoice. Okay. In case of movement of goods are not involved, let's take example, you have buy a machinery that is fixed in land or any building, then making goods available to the recipient, that date will be last date to issue the invoice in case of goods. The third case is for the continuous supply of goods. So here the last date is at time of issue of the periodical statement. Let's take example, you are buying milk from a milkman. Okay. So he issue a periodical statement monthly. Okay. That will be last date to issue the invoice. But receipt of payment, if I made the payment in between the month 15 of any month, then that will be last date to issue the invoice, not the statement. Okay. Some example are gas supply through pipelines and supply to builder, etc. Okay. So the next point is goods send on approval or return basis. So in that case, at time of supply or 6 months on the date of removal, whichever is earlier. Okay. Means if you remove the goods for approval basis, that is not supply. if it is sold, then you have to issue the invoice, that is last date. If it is not sold, then the 6th month from that date is last date to issue the invoice. Then you have to pay GST. So the next one is time of supply for the services, section number 13. So under forward charge mechanism, here you have to check first of all that invoice issued within time or not, that invoice issued within the last date or not. Okay, if issued within the time, within the last date, then we have to see A point. If not issue invoice within time, then we have to check the point number B here. Okay, so here last date for the issue of invoice for services are given under section 31. So there is last date to issue the invoice in case of services is within 30 days of provision of services. This is last date. 45 days in case of insurance, banking and the financial institution and NBFC. Okay, this is normal supply. But in case of continuous supply of services in this order, so let's see, due date of the payment is visible. I sold my course to you and I ask you to pay my this money after 1 month. So if due date is visible, then the date of payment will be last date. Okay, if due date is not clear, I ask you to pay anytime when you have money, then date of receipt of payment, when you have made payment to me. Or if you building, you are a builder, let's take example, you are a builder and making a building. Okay, then milestone and even event base. Okay, just like first floor completed, second floor completed, so on completion of milestone and event. Okay, if that supply of services is ceased before the completion, that contract of making building is cancelled. That contract of making building is cancelled. In that case, you have to write the invoice before such session. Okay, up to the amount of services provided. Up to amount of service provided till that date. Till that date. Is it clear? Okay, now see here. So invoice issued within time, then point A. If not issued within time, then point B. A point. So date of issue of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier. If invoice is not issued within time, then date of service provision or date of payment, whichever is earlier. So if above is not possible, then the date when the recipient show the receipt in his book, we will take it for the TOS for services. For payment of 1000 rupees in excess of invoice at option of supplier, it can be receipt or the date of invoice issue. So in simple word, in case of supply of services, advance of 1000 rupees is allowed. Advance of 1000 rupees is allowed. So it is at option of supplier. So first option is no need to pay GST on receipt, just like in case of goods. And second option is go like this option. Okay, so means we can treat it as advance and no need to pay GST, just like goods. We have option for 1000 rupees in case of goods. So in case of RCM, so there is no goods, then first option is not available. Here is date of payment and the 61st day, not 31st day, 61st day from supplier invoice, whichever is earlier. If these two are not available, then we have take the date of entry in the books of account of the recipient. Okay, so here one case is more, that is important. So in case of associate RCM case and supplier located outside India is associate in India, but its supplier is outside India. Then supply between them is covered under RCM, and we have take date of entry in the books of recipient or date of payment, whichever is earlier. This is also a case of RCM like this, but it's case of associate. So simple, take first point and take this third point. Ignore this point in case of associate under RCM. Okay, whichever is earlier. So the next is common point for the goods and services. So in case of voucher for goods or services, if supply is identifiable, like Zomato voucher, it is fixed, but you can get in return of that voucher. So that date of issue of voucher will be time of supply. In other cases means that the date of redemption of voucher. Example is Reliance Trend voucher. 20% off, 30% off, any clothes you will buy. So it's not identifiable at issue of voucher. Okay, in that case the date of redemption of that voucher will be the time of supply. Is it clear? Okay. So interest, late fee, penalty for the delay payment of the consideration. So for it, the date on which supplier receives such addition will be the time of supply. And we consider this interest, late fee, penalty will be inclusive of GST. Okay, and residual cases. If periodical return is filed, in that case the due date of the return means this is for the registered person. If a person has not paid tax to government for the last year, take example for 2023 July month. Okay, then now in 2025 he is making the payment. So its TOS will be the date of return. Due date of return means July due date will be the 20th of August of 2023 will be the due date, and its TOS will be that 20th August 2023. Okay, now he is making payment. So otherwise means for unregistered person. A person is unregistered from the last 3 years, but his turnover is more than 40 lakh now. But now that GST officer initiated raid at his business, and now he has to pay the tax to government. In that case, that date of payment means today he is making payment will be the time of supply. Right? Okay. In simple word, he has not to pay any interest, but in this case he also need to pay the interest because his TOS will be the 20th of the August of 2023, and in 2025 he is making the payment. He also has to pay the interest, and there is no interest on unregistered person. This is clear? Okay. So date of payment in case of received, the date of book entry or date of credit to bank, whichever is earlier. So this is case of FCM and this is case of RCM. The date of payment in case of RCM will be the date of payment entered in books of account by the recipient, or date of debit to the bank by recipient, whichever is earlier. TOS in case of change in the rate, section number 14, this is very important. So on 1st of 7th the rate will be 12%, but on 10th of 7th the rate became 18%. So what to do now? Here I means invoice, P means payment. I means invoice, P means payment, DOI means date of invoice, and DOP means date of payment. So first of all, you have to check whether goods or services supplied before rate change or after rate change. First of all, you have to decide, you have to fix whether goods or services is supplied before rate change or after rate change. Okay, first deciding that goods and services supplied before rate change. Fix it, freeze it. Now check two things: invoice and payment. I and P, invoice and payment. Invoice is before rate change and in payment is after rate change. So here two things happen before. Then we will take old rate and the TOS will be the date of invoice I. Okay, if invoice is after but payment is before, in that case again 2 before, after 3 take the old rate and the date of payment will be the TOS. Okay, now invoice is after, supply is fixed before, invoice is after and the payment is after. Now 2 after and 1 before, take the new rate and TOS will be the whichever is earlier, invoice and the payment. In case of goods, that TOS will be the date of invoice. Is it clear? Now assume the goods and services are supplied after the rate change and freeze it. Now check I and P. Invoice after and payment before. Again 2 after. In that case the rate will be new after rate change and the TOS will be the date of invoice. Now invoice before and the payment after. Again 2 after. So new rate and the date of the payment will be the TOS. If invoice before, payment before, but goods supplies after, so 2 before, take the old rate and the TOS will be the whichever is earlier. But for the goods that TOS will be the date of invoice. Okay, this is clear. Now see here. In short, if any of two, supply, invoice or payment, I repeat, if any of two, supply, invoice or payment are before, then rate change, then old rate will apply and the TOS will be the before. And if any of two are after rate change, then new rate apply and the TOS will be the after. This is clear. So one more point is here is that in case of rate change, the date of payment will be the earlier of the book entry by recipient or the bank credit, but only if the amount credited in bank within the 4 days from the date of change in rate. Otherwise date of payment will be the date of bank credit. Remember this is important. Okay, now do the question on it. This is question on it. G. Determine time of supply in the following cases. So this is case of service. So GST rate changes from 18% to 20% with effect from 1st June. So now here two cases are given. First is 28th May, the date of supply of services, or 10th of June, date of supply of services. First of all, freeze this. Okay, now check invoice and the payment. Invoice on the June 9 and the payment on the 25 July. The date of rate change is June 1. Okay, so this is after and this is after. 2 after, 1 before. Take the new rate 20% and the date of time of supply will be the whichever is earlier, 9th June earlier. Is it clear? Now May 28, this is before, and July 25, this is after. So 2 before, take the old rate and the TOS will be the before, means 28 May, take the old rate. Now June 9 after and May 26 before, take the old rate because 2 before and before will be the TOS, means May 26. Now what is this? 10th June is after the rate change. Okay, this is after. Now May 28 before and June 25 is after. 2 after, take the new rate and the after will be the TOS. May 28 before, May 16 before, 2 before, 1 after, take the old date and TOS will be the whichever is earlier. So May 16 will be earlier here. The third next point is, so June 9 after and the May 28 before. 2 after, take the new rate and the TOS will be the after June 9. This is clear and chapter is over. If this video is helpful to you, like it and subscribe the channel. Goodbye.